Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May. Tuesday, May. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to use the Tarot of the Gemstones and Crystal by Helumt G. Hofmann. Tuesday, May 5th. 100% this. All right, so yeah, we're going to use, should I get that card out of the way? Yeah, it's just like the cover card kind of thing. How are you doing? Calling that Queen of Pentacles to ground your decisions. Queen of Pentacles knows how to take care of herself in all situations and allow things to flourish and unfold for her. And do that loving attention, that short little prayer that I offered from St. John of the Cross the other day. That seek in prayer, find in meditation. We have those seekers in that Seven of Cups. Building castles, getting excited about things. Remembering, and then the Queen of Pentacles coming in was that groundedness, that solidity. So as we build our castles, we understand that we are also, it's not just that we're building them to live in them, we're putting all of our efforts, we're putting our investments in. It's the Queen of Pentacles, right? She knows what she's going to invest in, and she's there for the long haul. She's going to do it in a feminine way, not in a, sure, it might be a skyscraper. Why not? But it's not going to be something that's built for her and for her only. She's building for everybody. And that's doing it on the day-to-day basis. Remember, she's a minor arcana character. She's a court card. But that's on the day-to-day. These are the things that we do day in and day out. Here's a card already coming. 8 of Coins. Spinel. So you can look these up. I will post the meanings of the gemstones. 8 of Coins is, so we have another coins on the deck. We were just talking about Queen of Pentacles. 8 of Coins can be that place where we're like, I don't know if I've got, I've been doing this forever. I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. But as we know, and 8 is a commitment. We've talked about that a lot. If you turn the 8 on the figure 8 on its side, it becomes the symbol of infinity. Tying the knot of being, I'm gonna continue on. Numbers of commitment. So we look at what we're committing to, the work that we do, how we want to do our work. Taking our work to the next level. Sometimes when you're like, oh, do I want to do this like recertification, or, do I want to really do this? Like, this is that moment to examine our commitments to the projects that we're doing on the 3D, because this is the coin suit. That is the suit of pentacles. That's earth element. That's what we're doing on the day-to-day. Remember that whatever you're imbuing into, whatever you're doing, whatever you're putting your hands on, very material, right? In this 3D, whatever we're putting our hands on is infused with our energy, our spirit. This is continuing to do the work for ourselves. Usually there's, in the typical tarot, this is a card that, I'm actually going to read what the spinel is. Flipped right open. Spinels stimulate the faculty of imagination, creativity, and willpower. We learn to accept ourselves as we are and dare to tackle new challenges. Working with this stone, we will become more knowing and more purposeful. So we're imbuing our energy into something to bring it to a next level. And the next level would be the 9 of coins, or 9 of pentacles. And that's an independent person who's investing in themselves. And as they do that, the things around them become, you know, just the life that they want. They're comfortable in their life. They're comfortable in their own skin and the way they do it. So one of the things that came up, um, we, we learn to accept ourselves as we are, accept where we are in the process. And when we accept ourselves, we learn to be more compassionate and accepting of where other people are. Talked about that in yesterday's reading. Go back and listen to that. That came up. That came up. What's the other card that we have here? We can take this one. The Fool. Ah, this one came up. Silex. So in this is an older name for what's called red jasper. Red jasper. So look that one up. The Fool card. So this is a protecting of where we are as a beginner, going back, being willing to go back to beginner status. Like even though we've been working on something for a while and we've become good at it, which is an 8 of Coins, like we've reached some level of mastery. And a lot of cards, the person who's working kind of is in tatters. They're not really finely dressed. They're in their work clothes. They're putting their hands on the thing. And so like being in that beginner, like always being willing to look at things with a fresh perspective keeps us all, you know, kind of in that beginning exciting stages of whatever it is that we're working on. Like rather than looking at things as old hat and, oh, I've been there, done that. Well, you know, it's like, you know, giving us that fresh perspective of, do we want to continue working? So the next card that comes up is flipping is the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords, it gives us that opportunity to utilize our thought processes, but the 7 is, so where the 0 is like a number of protection and control, kind of putting some boundaries on things like, okay, I'm not going to let myself go all off into, you know, let me examine, let me take the time to examine and again, look at things from a fresh perspective, look at things. This is 7 of Swords. Look at my attitudes. Are my attitudes actually helping the situation or are they harming them? 7 of Swords can often be a lot of people will take a quick read on that as theft. But if we bring in the 7, which is the number of spirit, the number of the divine, our higher, wiser self, then we're not in a thefty kind of, or like a, you know, my way or the highway kind of energy. There can be that energy on there. This is a kind of flexible place. But again, but the mind is malleable. So is silver. Even more so than gold. Like even without applying heat, silver can be very malleable. So that's why this card is really important to consider. Like our minds are very malleable. So are you allowing your, are we allowing our mindset to warp the situation? Or are we actually allowing our minds to become malleable, pliable, and flexible in a way that we are looking at things with a different perspective, even if it's something that we've been working on for some time? Like utilizing that malleability towards our advantage, being flexible, maybe not landing on anything in particular, but again, if we're calling in spirit, we're going to get a better look at how we're utilizing our communication. So 7 of Swords can also be manipulation, right? Anything that's in kind of that malleable state. So it's all a matter of how are we using it. And bottom of the deck, yeah, is Amber. And coming in, that King of Coins came in, and this was in the upside down. So, you know, if we're utilizing our power in a vain way, which a King of Coins upside down would be, you know, power for power's sake. And I'm going to, you know, it's a very grasping dictator kind of, you know, and this card wasn't in an upside down fashion, but the last time I looked at this deck, I must have put it back. But it came up so that's coming up at the bottom of the deck. This is kind of on offer. This might be energy that's going on around you. And just, you know, again, don't use power for power's sake, or just kind of like, you know, this kind of like walk away type of situation, which can be this card. Can be walking away, my way or the highway, and not accepting any other thing. This is like, you know, using your power, using your tools, of using your resources in a way that's taking away rather than adding to. So how are we working with that malleability? So I'll pull one from the How to Be a Wildflower deck. And I'm probably just going to post these and then put the commentary in a little bit later, so you can take what you want, leave the rest, as we always say. This will be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Oh yeah, those are the 3. Share, like, subscribe, comment in any fashion. That just helps the messages get out to people who need to hear them in that random kind of way that internet works. And but if you do have a question, either in the comments, we can go into these in a little bit of a deeper dive. This is a message for the collective. You can also direct message me if you want your own private message on any of those platforms. So do we have... So yeah, I'll probably post the commentary a little bit later. Time to go. So, oh yeah, so the bees and this sunflower are coming up. Oh, and mountains. We need the tonic of wildness. Get outside today. Sunflowers, rise with the sun. Yeah, don't hesitate to get out of bed. We want to get up and doing this wonderful kind of work and engaging with one another. And gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Yeah, use your words. How are we using our words? Mostly towards ourselves, because if we are being gracious towards ourselves, that is going to absolutely be something that we share in our interactions in the world. Be gracious, be accepting. That card came up in the spin-off. I'll post all of these a little later in the commentary, but I'm going to just probably post the videos so you can hear them, and then come back later and see what's up. All right, have a great day.